Do it again. Okay, well, it's the top of the hour. Hi to everyone, and welcome to my anti-aging All Secrets Revealed Masterclass. I'm so happy to have you all here with me today. And I just wanted to let you know that so many of us are on a hunt for natural anti-aging solutions. So what I've done is I've prepared a fun and informative masterclass on just that. So everything that I have put together here are things that I have tried for myself that I absolutely love and continue to do almost on a daily basis. So we will be exploring a lot of different healing modalities that will help us to feel our best and stay young. And it's more than just the food on our plates. But before I begin, I want to ask each of you to please stand up, and we're going to do a little exercise before we begin. And what I want you to do is I want you to start tapping the top of your head. Tapping, tapping, tapping. Go to your face, lightly tap. Here we want to bring up fresh oxygen and blood to your face. And this helps you to have that healthy, glowing, rosy complexion that we all had when we were younger. And just tapping, tapping, tapping. And we're going to come down to our chest area, and we're going to go across our arms and then under our arms, under our chest here, all the way down the outer leg, up the front of the leg, across, come back up, under the arm, over the arm, back down, so we get the outside of our leg, the inside of our leg. We come back up, we start tapping again with the top of the head. We're tapping, tapping. Here we're bringing up the fresh oxygen and blood for that rosy complexion. And you could lightly tap here. You don't need to be slapping yourself or anything like that. And tapping your chest and over your arm and under the arm. Tapping, tapping, tapping. Up the other way. Again, under this arm, over this arm, back down. The outside of the leg, the inside of the leg. And now we're just going to stop. What is it that you feel right now? Are you feeling tingling in your body? If so, that is your energy. We are all energetic beings, and we all have this energy within us. Do this exercise on days that you feel sluggish, if you're not thinking clearly, if you're just not yourself, if you're sitting at your desk all day and you need to recharge. Do this exercise as it will really help you, and it will alleviate some of that sluggish feeling, and you just know that you're tapping into your energy. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Susan Lopresti. I am a holistic health coach and Reiki practitioner. My journey to good health actually began when I turned 30 years old. I had been on birth control pills from when I was about 21 years old. And in my 20s, I had no side effects from birth control at all. But as I reached my early 30s, I want to say when I was 30, I began to get very severe headaches around the time of my period every month. So I spoke to my gynecologist about it, and he suggested that I go off of birth control pills for a few months to see if my symptoms improved. And lo and behold, they did. And so that got me to thinking for the very first time in my life about the correlation between what you put into your body and how your body feels. So that, ignited a spark in me about thinking about health and wellness. And I ended up quitting smoking. I used to smoke cigarettes from a very early age, probably 16 or 17 years old. So I quit when I was 30, and I took up running, and I absolutely loved running because it gave me like this, what they call a runner's high, and it really is true. It is a runner's high. And from feeling good about running and quitting smoking and being more conscious about what I was putting into my body, that automatically prompted me to start eating healthier, and really gaining like an awareness of health and wellness. And I just developed a love for it at that point in my life. And I was feeling great up until my mid 40s when I started to gain some weight. And most of it was in my middle. And that was upsetting to me because I always had like a very small waist and flat stomach and just like a beautiful hourglass body, especially when I started running. I mean, I really slimmed down and was in the best shape of my life. And I wasn't too happy in my mid 40s about how I was beginning to look. So I went on like a lot of these fad diets that are out there. And yes, I did lose weight, but I always felt like crap. And as soon as I went off the diet, I would gain the weight back. I was also again developing these migraine headaches that were really, really severe, worse than when I was in my 30s. I was getting like this flashing light, what they call the aura, and that would continue, that would start out of nowhere and continue for about 30 minutes. And right after that would go away, the headache was unbelievable. So I started going to doctors because, I was gaining weight. I was getting migraine headaches again. Then I developed all of these aches and pains in my body that I had no idea where they were stemming from. My thinking was completely foggy, and I could not hold thoughts and or anything. It was just crazy. And I had gut issues. I was just like all over the place. And so I started going to doctors. I started with my primary care doctor. He ran some blood work. He said, there's really nothing wrong with you. I don't see anything at all. It's natural when you're 45 and 46 years old to start feeling tired and exhausted. And it's just the natural part of life of aging. And I did not want to accept that as a diagnosis. And then I went to see a neurologist because, like I said, I was having tingling and aches and pains and all kinds of stuff. And again, he found nothing wrong with me, and he basically diagnosed me the same way. You're in your 40s, it's natural to feel like that. I really could not accept that as a diagnosis. I knew that my mom was like 62 years old at the time and she didn't have any of these issues, and I just would not accept it. So I started doing research on my own, and I discovered functional medicine. And so I went to see a functional medicine doctor here in New York City, and it was an incredible experience for me, not like none I've ever experienced, because I sat in her office for 2.5 hours. And within that time, she reviewed my family history from my grandparents, where they were born, their lifestyle, my parents, their lifestyle. Did my dad smoke? Did he have heart condition? Did he have diabetes? Did he take medication? Did he drink? The same for my mom. How my mom carried me, if she took antibiotics, so on and so forth, and then right up to me. And at the end of this whole discovery meeting, she was about to bring me in to have my blood drawn. And she said, I have one more question for you. And that is, how long have you had food allergies? And I said, oh, I don't have any food allergies. And she responded and said, yes, you do. I don't know what they are right now, but just looking at you tells me that you have food allergies. She said, you have dark circles under your eyes, you have bags under your eyes, your face is very puffy, your hands are puffy, and I can just tell from your overall appearance that you have food allergies. And once we do blood work, we'll know what they are. And so, basically, she came back to me a few days later and said, I have wonderful news for you. You have celiac disease and you have Hashimoto's disease. And I was like, is that good news? I don't even know what they are. And she said, yes, it is good news, because if you follow my protocol, you are going to feel 100 times better, and that's going to help with your Hashimoto's disease. So because I felt so terrible, I decided that I was going all in and I was going to follow her instructions to the T. And lo and behold, in about 6 months' time, I was back to my normal self. So that's what prompted me to be a health coach, because I thought about it and I said, if I would have accepted the first and second diagnosis that I got, which basically was telling me it's your age and you just need to live with that, where would I be at 61? I have no idea. So I felt like, well, how many women out there do accept the first or second diagnosis and just say, okay, that's it, this is my future, I'm going to feel like this, and there's nothing I could do about it. So my passion became, I want to help women who are feeling like crap, that got this diagnosis, that where the doctors never talked about eating and never talked about lifestyle changes and never spoke about anything. Basically, what I got was, this is the way it is, and this is the way it's going to be from today into the future. I didn't want that. So I decided that I was going to help other women feel better as well. So we're going to begin by by talking about anti-aging. We need to talk about free radicals. And they're definitely related to the aging process. So free radicals are atoms or groups of atoms with an odd number of electrons, meaning that they're missing one electron. And so free radicals form when oxygen interacts with certain molecules. And once formed, free radicals can start a whole chain reaction, creating damage when they react with important cellular components, such as our DNA or the cell membranes. So excess free radicals in the body have been linked to chronic diseases, including cancer, arterial sclerosis, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and so many other diseases and autoimmune diseases. And they've also been linked to the aging process due to the gradual accumulation or buildup of free radical damage in the body. Cells may function poorly or die if this occurs. So, to prevent free radical damage, the body has a defense system of antioxidants. So antioxidants, what are they? So nutrition and anti-aging are linked due to the power of antioxidants. And there's an abundance of scientific literature that connecting the two. And you could research more about that on your own. But what I'm going to say about it is that the powerful benefits of antioxidants against free radical damage really cannot be denied. Antioxidants are molecules that interact with free radicals, and they interrupt that chain reaction which causes cellular damage. So antioxidants are basically vitamin E, beta carotene, and vitamin C. And all of that can be added to your body through the foods that we're eating. So the body cannot manufacture these micronutrients, so they must be supplied in the diet. And thankfully, there are so many foods that contain antioxidants that we can consume on a daily basis to gain the anti-aging benefits. So, vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin that's present in nuts and seeds, vegetable oils, and fish oils, as well as grains, whole grains. Vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin that's present in all of our citrus fruits, green peppers, cabbage, spinach, broccoli, kale, cantaloupe, kiwi, and strawberries. Beta carotene, which is a precursor to vitamin A, that could be found in liver if you eat organ meats, egg yolks, milk, spinach, butter, and some other things as well. And beta carotene is converted to vitamin A when it's needed by the body. So we don't need to add additional vitamin A. It will be converted if we're taking in beta carotene foods. It will convert when needed. The other thing is selenium, which is also needed to process antioxidants within the body. And some exceptional sources of selenium are Brazil nuts, yellowfin tuna, halibut, and sardines. Some of those are my favorites. The next thing that we're going to talk about are flavonoids and also polyphenols. So flavonoids and polyphenols have strong antioxidant properties that help prevent oxidative stress, thus aging. Polyphenols are micronutrient that we can only get them through certain plant-based foods. Polyphenols are compounds that are naturally found in fruits, vegetables, teas, and cocoa. Some popular sources include black currants, plums, sweet cherries, apples, blackberries, strawberries, artichokes, spinach, hazelnut, and pecans. Flavonoids are compounds that make up polyphenols, and the makeup is the major source of polyphenols in the diet. Anthocyanins are one of the most abundant flavonoids in the diet. And anthocyanins are powerful antioxidants which fight against free radical damage in the body and limit cellular damage. Anthocyanins are abundant in foods with red, purple, and blue coloring, such as blueberries, blackberries, prunes, cherries, eggplants, kidney beans, black beans, pomegranates, oranges, figs, red onions, and sweet potatoes are all great sources of anthocyanins. So we want to add as much of these foods into our diet as possible on a daily basis to make sure that we're getting enough antioxidants into our body every day to help fight free radical damage. Ginger is also a natural remedy for inflammation reduction, and it also improves circulation, which leads to younger looking skin. And that's what we're all here to learn. So ginger is a vital anti-aging herb that's been used for thousands of years in traditional Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine. And I personally love both of these healing modalities. And in future slides, I will be talking about some of the Ayurvedic practices that I do that I'm recommending that you do as well. But for now, ginger, this anti-aging herb, is beneficial to digestive health. It's anti-inflammatory, like I said, and it boosts the overall immune system. And ginger's anti-aging properties are due to gingerol, which is an antioxidant that helps to protect against collagen breakdown. And that's why we all get those dreaded wrinkles when the collagen in our skin begins to break down. So ginger helps to protect against that. And this is something that I do on a daily basis to make sure that I'm getting ginger in my diet. And that is that I make a ginger tea every day that I wanted to share with you here today. So basically what I do is I get about a 2-inch piece of raw ginger, and I peel it to, grate the top piece off. And I boil that in 2.5 to 3 cups of water. And I keep adding water to it daily as I go throughout the day. So what I do is I bring the boiling ginger water to boil for about maybe 5 minutes or so, depending on the taste. I like it very strong. So then I put in my cup the ginger water. I add a tablespoon or 2 of a raw local honey, which is also very, very good for you. You can add fresh lemon and fresh lime or both to taste, and just sip this tea throughout the course of your day. And like I said, just keep adding more water to your teapot and reboil the water and keep doing that. And you can make it hot or you can make it cold. It's absolutely delicious. And you could also add, like if you have green tea, if green tea is your favorite, boil the ginger water and with your green tea bag and do it like that. I also use it at night because I have like a sleepy time tea that I take, and I add the ginger water to that as well. So I am getting ginger in my diet from morning basically through night, and I absolutely love it. So I'm not going to, diet, I want to talk about diet, but I'm not going to really get into food and diet preferences because we're all individual people. And something that works for me may not work for you. So I have celiac disease. I'm super sensitive to gluten. You may be able to eat gluten with no side effects whatsoever. So what I want to talk about here as far as food goes is, so like I said, everyone is different. Some people may choose to be vegetarian while others may not. I am more pescatarian than anything else, but if you do put a piece of filet mignon in front of me, I will eat it. I sort of am not into chicken anymore or turkey really, so like I've pushed that to the side. I really don't eat pork, but maybe once in a while I'll have something like that. But For the most part, I eat a plant-based diet with fish. So what I'm going to say is that if you are someone who chooses to eat animal products, um, that's great. I want you to be sure that they're organic and grass fed whenever possible. You want to be including healthy fats into your diet, such as salmon or other types of fatty fish, such as tuna or sardines, mackerel, or trout. And with fish, wild caught is always the best option. Now, why am I telling you to eat organic, grass fed, and to have wild caught fish? And it's very simple. If you're buying conventional meats that are not organic and are not raised in a healthy environment, these animals are pumped up with hormones because when they're brought to the slaughterhouse to be sold by farmers, it gets sold by weight. So hormones are bulking them up, making them juicier, making them plumper, and basically the farmer is getting more money for the same chicken, right? But the unfortunate part is that when we ingest animal products that have hormones in them, they begin to now disrupt our hormones, our natural hormones that are balanced. So now we become imbalanced. Also, conventional meats, because they're raised in disease infested conditions, they're pumped up with antibiotics so that they stay healthy, that they could actually make it to market to be sold, because otherwise they'll all be dying by the, whatever, they'll be dying in large amounts, which in turn decreases the farmer's profitability. So they're pumped up with these antibiotics. Now, we all know that antibiotics are great if you have some kind of a bacteria infection in your body, but we also know that antibiotics disrupt our healthy balance of our bacteria in our gut. So, it's not healthy for us to be eating animal products that are loaded with antibiotics, because it's going to disrupt the healthy gut bacteria in our body, which is called dysbiosis, which becomes that the bad bacteria overtake the good bacteria in our body, which is going to wreak havoc on our systems. So, if you are eating animal products, I will say again that they need to be organic, grass-fed, and if it's fish, they should be wild caught and not farmed. And that's what I say on products. I'm also going to say that I do on food products. I'm also going to say that I do not believe in strict or rigid diets, because once you go off of them, for sure you're going to gain your weight back. What I prefer and what I tell my clients is that you need to be adding more good foods into your diet, which is going to leave less room to eat the bad fats, the bad foods and bad fats. So I call that crowding out. So basically, I'm asking you to eat a rainbow of color to get the most vitamin sources in your diet. And the rainbow of color comes from your fruits and your vegetables. So I want you to be eating a wide color variety of fruits and vegetables, and try new vegetables and new fruits that you never had before. Look up recipes on the internet. If you become a client of mine, I will give you recipes for different foods that you could be eating. You want to be eliminating processed foods. So processed foods are simply this: if it comes in a bag, a box, a can, a container, it's processed. If it's processed, it's loaded with preservatives to keep it fresh, longer. Those preservatives are chemicals that we do not need in our body. So, what I am saying to you again is that you need to be eating fresh, organic, healthy fruits and vegetables. The only time I will tell you that it's okay to eat something in a bag is if it's frozen. So it needs to be organic. But if it's frozen fruit or frozen vegetables, that the only ingredient is the frozen fruit or the vegetable, it is fine. However, if it has added sugar or sauces or any other ingredients in that bag, no. So, why do I say it's okay to eat frozen fruits and vegetables? I'm saying that for the simple reason that it will stay better. So if you buy fresh, you need to cook it right away or in a day or two. What happens with me personally is when I buy fresh fruits and vegetables, if I don't eat them in a few days, I end up throwing them away because they've already spoiled. And that's a waste of my money and it's just sinful. So, with fruits and vegetables, if you can't cook them in the first few days that you buy them, and you can get frozen and there's no other ingredients in it, then it's fine. So, um, the other thing that I want to tell you is that you may, if you're not feeling your best, you may want to consider eliminating foods from your diet, especially if you are suffering with pain, headaches, anxiety, insomnia, or any other type of inflammatory condition. And that would be to eliminate gluten, dairy, sugar, and caffeine. And believe me, I know that it could be very difficult at first. I went through it myself. I went through the detox stage, which was very uncomfortable, quite honestly. But you know what? You didn't get sick in one day. This has been years of putting bad things into your body. So it's slowly going to come out. And as you are detoxing, like I said, you will feel worse than you already do. But if you could allow that process to continue, once you have eliminated everything out of your system, you will be amazed at how great you're going to feel. So I encourage you to eliminate things. And then if you are feeling great and you want to add something back into your diet, let's say you love cheese and you don't want to be without dairy products. Okay, start adding back um, cheese and see how your body reacts to it. If you start getting some of the symptoms you were having, maybe gas or bloating or constipation, then you know that your body does not like dairy. Now it's up to you to decide, do I want to, what's more important to me? Do I want to eat dairy because I absolutely love it and I'm willing to accept the side effects that come along with it? Or is it more important for me to feel great and just eliminate that food? And that's entirely up to you. If I was coaching you, we would talk about that. We may be able to make some kind of compromise with it and so on and so forth. So that's pretty much what I'm going to talk about as far as food goes. The next thing I'm going to talk about is self-care. Oh, let me skip that one. And I'm here to tell you that self-care isn't selfish. Okay, it's definitely not selfish because self-care is one of the ways that we can help our body slow down the process of aging. And many women today, we all feel like self care is selfish. And we're so inclined as women to always be wanting to take care of other people before we take care of ourselves. And I'm here to tell you that the only way to effectively take care of other people is to be taking care of ourselves first. And so, like, when you go on an airplane and you're ready to take off, and the airline stewardess is up front and talking about all the safety measures of the plane and what to do. And she says, if the oxygen drops down, you're to put it on yourself before you put it on your children. And it's the same thing. Excuse me. If you want, like, before you could take care of your children and your husband and your mother-in-law and your father-in-law and your mother and your father and whoever else that you're taking care of, you need to be taking care of yourself first, because if you're not, you're going to become depleted and exhausted, and you will begin resenting the people that you're taking care of. So here are some self-care rituals that we can do to stay healthy and feel better, and basically slow down the aging process. So we want to be eating 3 healthy meals per day that are including a lot of fruits and vegetables and healthy proteins to our diet. We Ideally, it's great even if you do it once a week or once a month or whatever, but go on a social media detox. It's so freeing, it really is. Find a spot every single day to meditate. You don't need 20 minutes, 30 minutes. If you could find 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is, just to get in touch with your breath and your thoughts, and to come into yourself and meditate and do this for yourself. You could light a candle if that makes you feel good. A gratitude list is great. Even if it's 5 things every day that you're grateful for. You can't think of anything? How about you woke up today? How about you could breathe without an oxygen tank? You can walk without a cane or a walker. If those things are significant to you, if you could do those things, you should be grateful. Again, like meditation, practice deep breathing, get in touch with your breath, breathe into your stomach, notice the feeling of settling in and calming down. Listen to good music, something that's uplifting, that's feel good, that will raise your vibration and make you feel better. Exercise, we're going to talk about exercise in detail, but exercise, definitely. Catching up with a friend, especially now, COVID is like pretty much behind us, or getting there anyway. So get reconnected with your friends, with your family, spend time outdoors. It's springtime, we're coming into summer. Get a mini, if you can't afford like a massage or a facial, go for a manicure, go for a pedicure. But if you can do a massage or a facial, do that too. Cuddle a pet if you have one. Try something new, challenge yourself with something new, a puzzle, whatever, painting, drawing, learning a new language. Try something new. Read a book. There's something novel to do, right? So all of these things can really help to slow down the aging process. And now I'm going to talk about one of my favorite healing modalities, and that is Ayurvedic medicine. And I'm not going to get into it very deeply, but I will touch on it and let you know that this is a healing modality that was developed more than 3,000 years ago in India. And it's really based on the belief that health and wellness depends on the delicate balance between mind, body, and spirit. And the approach is to get the maximum support of nature for our most important physiological activities. So like digestion, they suggest that you eat your largest meal at the time that digestion is the most active, which is in the afternoon. They suggest you go to sleep at a certain time of day, that supports sleep and also biological cleansing. Okay. There's like just so many things that like correspond with nature and our circadian rhythm, and to follow along with that. And we could get into detail on that in an entirely different class, but I'm just going to highlight some of it. Okay, so what they suggest, and this is in a perfect ideal world, and we all know that we don't all live in an ideal world. But if you can do some of this on a daily basis, it has been proven, and I can attest to it because I do a lot of this stuff, that you will feel better. Okay, so the first thing is that with the circadian rhythm, which is the rhythm of our body versus the environment. So if you could rise at 6 a.m., they believe that the first thing upon rising, you should go to the bathroom and evacuate your bladder and your bowels, ideally, if you can. The second thing, these are in reverse here, I have to change that. The second thing is that they suggest that you scrape your tongue. So what is that? So I have here, sorry if this is too loud, but I have here a copper, which is what they suggest, tongue scraper. And you get this first thing in the morning and you bring it to the back of your tongue and you scrape forward, and what you're going to see is a white chalky substance, and that is called ama in Ayurvedic medicine. And ama basically is the remnants of undigested food that we want to pull out of our body. And then right after tongue scraping, they suggest that you brush your teeth. And then right after brushing your teeth, you go on to oil pulling, which I'm going to talk about in a future slide. So I'm going to gloss over that right now. And then they suggest dry skin brushing, which I will also talk about in a future slide. After dry skin brushing, take your shower. And then they suggest that once you're out of your shower, you can do some yoga sun salutations to wake up your body, and a meditation practice. Do some physical activity besides sun salutations, which may be like an early morning walk. They suggest that you always wear clean, comfortable, natural fiber clothing, and to eat a light breakfast followed by that morning walk. In the afternoon is when they suggest that you eat your heaviest meal of the day because of the environment. And they suggest that it be a warm cooked meal that includes all 6 tastes, which basically are sweet, sour, salty, spicy, bitter, and astringent. In a future class or in my health coaching, we would talk more about that. I don't have, that's not something that we're going to get into here. But what they do suggest is that after your meal, to rest for 10 minutes and then go back to work. And at some point while you're working or study, whichever it may be for you, to take another little break and do some additional sun salutations or an asana practice, which is basically yoga, yoga poses, and some pranayama, which is breath work and meditation again. So you see, you're always going back to taking care of yourself. In the evening, they suggest a very early and light evening meal. Rest again for 10 minutes after your meal. And then, if weather permitting or whatever, is to go take a nice little walk. It doesn't have to be anything, 3 miles. You could walk a block or two and come back home. And following that, we want to do some pleasant or relaxing activities, such as taking a warm Epsom salt bath, which is fabulous to do. Turn off your electronics 1 hour before bedtime. And ideally, if you could be in bed by 10 p.m. with natural fabric clothing and also bedding. So we're going to go on to oil pulling. So what exactly is oil pulling? Oil pulling is a healing technique that's done first thing in the morning, right after you tongue scrape and brush your teeth. So you're going to take like a tablespoon or a little more of sesame oil, and I use this one that I get off of Amazon. So I use that, and I take a tablespoon of oil and I swish it in my mouth as long as you feel comfortable, up to 20 minutes for optimal results. So the premise of oil pulling in Ayurvedic medicine says that doing this first thing in the morning helps to heal cells, tissues, and organs by supporting the body's elimination of toxic waste, which without disturbing the healthy microflora in our body. So it's only pulling out the bad bacteria while still leaving the healthy bacteria in our body. So our mouth hosts over 600 different species of bacteria that actually populate the teeth, the gums, the soft tissue of the palate, and our tonsils. The oral cavity adjoins with the esophagus, the nasal passages, the sinuses, and also the ear cavity. So the bad bacteria gets attracted to the lipid structure of the oil, which is the fat of the oil, and it gets drawn to it. Okay, and it's pulled, the bad bacteria gets pulled from the oral tissues and also from the sinus cavities, all those areas that I just spoke about, and it gets trapped into this oil. And then when you're done swishing it in your mouth, you spit it out into a garbage pail, and we'll talk about that in a second. But when you spit it out, you're spitting out all of this bad bacteria that's causing like gingivitis and your teeth and all of the gum issues that we get. So basically it's helping with that. It's helping to prevent tooth decay because bacteria is what's causing tooth decay. It's alleviating bad breath. It's strengthening, like I said, the tissues of the teeth and the gums. It's also helping with teeth whitening by using the oil. And the last thing is that because it's pulling out congestion in your sinuses and stuff like that, it also helps to lighten the dark circles that we get under our eyes and from allergies and all of that. So oil pulling is really great. And then I guess I could take out that slide. That's the tongue scraping slide again. And basically with tongue scraping, we are looking at the tongue. Both Western and Eastern healing modalities, by the way, do look at the tongue for indications of good health. So what you do with the tongue scraping is you take the tongue scraper, you start in the back of your tongue, and you gently do long strokes. And again, like I said, you're removing that white chalky substance, which is called ama in Ayurvedic medicine, and it's the toxic product of improperly digested food. So you're pulling all of that out. And what happens is this blocks the subtle channels of channels of the body, as well as it disturbs digestion. So Ayurveda says that scraping the tongue should only be done in the morning on an empty stomach. And the tongue relates to different body parts of the different organs of the body. And so scraping the tongue is a good indication to observe the tongue and also the internal organs of our body. So along with that, again, tongue scraping helps with bad bacteria, bad breath. It improves our sense of taste, and it also improves our immune system and better digestion. So after we do all that, and before we actually have any kind of caffeine or coffee or tea, we want to start waking up our digestive system by drinking warm water with lemon, and to drink that throughout the day. And ideally, in the perfect world, you would wait 25 minutes from the time that you drink your warm water with lemon to you actually have any caffeine or tea products. In the perfect world. Another healing modality that I absolutely love is called dry skin brushing. And what dry skin brushing involves is stimulating the lymphatic system, which is the body system that moves lymph, which is the fluid that contains white blood cells that are infection fighting. So our white blood cells are fighting infection throughout the body. And the lymphatic system acts as a draining system of the body that helps to remove these toxins and waste and other unwanted materials such as viruses and bacteria and flush them out of our body. Now, the lymphatic system is very similar to the circulatory system, which the circulatory system circulates our blood throughout our body. And it's done by the help of our heart, which acts as the pump to circulate the blood. However, in the lymphatic system, our body does not have a pump to pump the lymph throughout the body. So the lymphatic system relies on the body's movement, exercise, dry skin brushing, and like exercise and rebounding, which I'll talk about on the next slide. This all helps to move that out. So with dry skin brushing is one of the techniques that moves the lymph throughout the body and out of your body. And with dry skin brushing, you want to use a natural skin brush, like, oh, I see a fly, like the one I have here. And what you simply do is you could start with your face and very gently on your face. You want to go down to your neck very gently because your skin is very, very delicate. But you just, again, want to move the lymph. You want to move the lymph. Then you could start on your arms, long strokes, long, even strokes, and you're just going to all the way up. And you're going to do it again and all the way around the arm, just like when we tapped, right? We tapped in the beginning, the same thing. And for your chest area, you want to move it in. You're always moving the brush towards your heart, okay? So you're moving it from your face down towards your heart, from your fingers up towards your heart, from your toes all the way up your buttocks towards your heart. Around your belly, you want to go clockwise, circular motion. And we do clockwise because that is the direction that our digestive system goes. So we're also helping to, again, it's all about eliminating. It's all about moving this, moving everything out of our body. We want to release the toxins in our colon. We want to eliminate every day. We want to move the lymph every single day. These are the things that are going to keep us healthy. So what happens is, if you're not doing this, you begin to develop blockages in your body. And so some of the things that you may notice is that you develop cellulite. So what happens with that is it's just all this accumulation of everything, fat and different toxins, and they get trapped into your skin and you develop cellulite. And eventually, I mean, cellulite may not give you disease, but you're developing blockages in your body and you will develop disease over time. So this helps to get everything moving and it feels great. And not only that, but when you dry skin brush, you're also removing the dead skin cells that are on your body, and you are allowing fresh, new skin cells to come to the surface. So by tapping and doing all of this stuff, you're just looking healthier. You know, it's really all about that. And so I have this slide of the rebounder because rebounding is a great way for us to move our lymph. And it's also, like, for me, I used to be a runner. I spoke about that earlier. But as I got into my mid-50s, running was no longer an option for me because I was developing a lot of back pain. And when I went to see a doctor, he told me, he said, you need to hang up your running shoes. Those days are over. So what I decided to do was to get a rebounder because I know it's loaded with health benefits, and it's also very easy on my joints. So I can jog in place on my rebounder, or I could jump up and down, and it's easy on my joints because you're not hitting a hard surface. It's like G-force. You're coming up and down, and that G-force is pulling, it's bringing it up, it's bringing it down, and it's moving the lymph. And it's one of the greatest ways, besides dry skin brushing, to really get that lymph moving and out of your system. And all of this helps to build a stronger immune system. And because of COVID and everything else that's going on in this world, that's what it's all about. Yes, we want to look healthy. Yes, we want to look young. But not only do we want to look healthy, but we want to maintain our health and not be susceptible to disease and germs and whatever else. So we're going to go on to exercise, right? And so studies have shown that regular exercise can slow the aging process. In particular, 30 minutes of cardio 5 times per week has been shown to provide a biological aging advantage when compared to sedentary adults. So we all know that. It helps to reduce inflammation, and it helps to with oxidative stress, which again leads to aging. So brisk walking on an incline is great. Like I mentioned, my rebounder that I have in the living room. If you have access to a pool and you could swim, that's great. Cardio, cycling is great. They're all great cardio workouts. We also want to be working the larger muscles of the body that are used for pulling and pushing and squatting. Also the core is used every day, and as such, it should be trained when we're doing on the same days of as cardio. So what happens with aging is that it decreases muscular elasticity. We're not as stable on our feet. We may not be as fast as we were. So speed, we slow down in speed, strength, and endurance. So yoga is a great anti-aging exercise, and it helps with all of those issues. And yoga also helps to increase flexibility. And when combined with regular exercise, it really will help to maintain muscle mass for healthy bones. And yoga also works wonders on your core. And your core is so important because it allows you to stand up straight and be erect, and it helps with back pain because you're not relying on your back, you're relying on your core muscles to maintain that erect feeling. So let me just take a sip of water, excuse me. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is face yoga. So face yoga is a specific form of yoga that's targeted at improving your facial muscles to make you look younger. So like 30 minutes a day of daily face yoga can dramatically improve the appearance of saggy skin or loose skin and make your skin appear more lifted. And it will appear more lifted because you'll be building up the muscles again. Like we talked about earlier, as we age, your muscles get weak. And what happens is they just drop. So it's not so much that we're getting wrinkles. Yes, we are. And we're going to talk about that on the next slide. But also because our muscles are not as prominent as they were when we were younger, the skin starts to sag, and hence you get the muscles. So the best thing about face yoga is that it can be done in the privacy of your own home. And I'm just going to show you a couple of techniques that we could do. And I actually am certified in face yoga, and I will do a class on that. But I want to right now talk about some of the things that you can do. So, you have these lines over here. We call them the 11 lines. And you could get your two middle fingers and come up and move, spread them over. And you're going to come down to this lymphatic drainage area right here. It's like a little indent right at your ears. And then you're going to go over your ears, down your neck to your collarbone. And you just do this. You do this. This is one of the ways that you drain the lymphatic system. I'm sorry, I did the wrong thing the first time. We'll go back to that. But this is draining. And you may actually start to feel yourself swallowing. So the first one that I did the first time is to smooth out. You want to start taking notice of when you are squinting and raising your eyebrows, and you want to focus on relaxing your facial muscles and just being, at a neutral position. And so doing some of this, lifting and stretching and smoothing out, it's actually stimulating your muscles, and it's building up your muscles. And again, like we did in the beginning with the tapping, all of these maneuvers help to bring fresh oxygen and fresh blood up to your skin to create this rosy complexion. Another thing that we could do again for the 11 is we put our fingers like this. We could go down. On the downside, we're going to be gentle. We're going to get to the center of the chin, and then we're going to come up, and we're going to hold it like that, and down and up. And this is great for the jowls and just like stimulating the muscles in your face to get activated. And you could do that. Now I'm just touching on some. For the mouth area, all those vertical lines that we have here, you can put your hands like this. You look straight ahead. You put your teeth, your lips over your teeth, and you're going to have your mouth closed, but yet you're resisting against opening your mouth. So you're going to look like this. And you're going to hold that, release, and what you're doing is you're building up the muscle around your mouth so that it will come back fuller and will even out the muscles on your face. Now, are you going to look like you just had Botox done? No. But will you look better? Yes. So that's that. The next thing I want to talk about, and I love both of these two, is gua sha and facial reflexology. So with your gua sha, this is the tool, and there's many different ones, and some have different shapes. Some are serrated on one end. There's many different ones, and they are used for different treatments. But anyway, I'm showing you this one. Excuse me one second. I'm showing you this one. And what you want to do with this one is you want to start by on your chest. Okay. And I don't have but what you want to do is you want to start moving it over your chest like this, because you have a lot of lymphatic you have a lot of lymph nodes and stuff like that in this whole entire area and your neck area. So you want to open all of this area up first by doing this, and then go on to your face. And again, you want to just be moving it down very gently, very gently. And this helps with the puffiness. It helps with all of that. And so in another class, I'll get into this fully, but this is some of the techniques that just help you. And then the next thing that is facial reflexology. So like gua sha, facial reflexology stimulates blood flow in your face, which again helps to promote a glowing complexion, skin cell renewal, and detoxification. Because it works to stimulate blood flow, over time, facial reflexology treatment can improve the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. And the face, much like the foot in reflexology, it corresponds with different organs in your body. So by stimulating these areas, improves the function of the organs. So not only will you appear younger, but your organs will also be in better balance and alignment. So facial reflexology aims to relax and help remove stress by assisting the body to heal and rebalance itself. And during facial reflexology, gentle pressure is applied to the different reflex zones and reflexology points on your face. And so, like for instance, in facial reflexology, they believe that the dark circles under your eyes are related to like a weak kidney. Now, don't get me wrong, if you have dark circles, I'm not saying that your kidneys are failing or anything like that. They just need an extra boost. And so with facial reflexology, your kidney points are up on your left and right sides right here. And just by circling while supporting your skin, you always want to be supporting your skin, and you do a couple of circles back and forth. And then you could go here. So this is briefly a demonstration. It's much more involved if you're doing it. And then you could come here. There's another spot for, breaking up these lines. And for your dark circles, you can, again, support your skin in some way and just circle and circle. And we will get into this. I'm really not doing it all that well right now. But what I wanted to tell you about wrinkles is that what happens is, what happens with wrinkles is that we keep making the same facial expressions all the time. So we squint and we pucker our lips if we smoke cigarettes and all of that. So what happens is that your skin gets, basically it's making this movement all the time, all the time, all the time. And it just starts to adhere to the muscle. And that's why we have those wrinkles that don't go away. And they don't go away if you put cream, if you put anything, they're just not going away. So when you use this tool, and you don't have to buy this tool, you can use a knitting needle or something with a point, or you could also use your knuckle. But when you use this tool and you start circling and circling, and you do this on a daily basis, you start to loosen up the adhesion that has formed on the muscle, and the lines start to become softer over time. Does it happen immediately? No. Will it improve over time? I promise you, if you're devoted, it will. If you're eating right and you're doing all the things that we've already talked about, including this, you will see benefits to your skin. So we're going to go on. And one last thing I'm going to talk about as far as the face is facial massage. Again, like we talked about, all of these things, we're tightening the muscles, we're, making these tapping to stimulate the lymphatic system, and just doing this over time with a wonderful face oil will just work wonders for your skin, and you will love the way you look. The next thing that we're going to go over is meditation. And meditation, many studies have found that meditation can impact chromosomes, more specifically our telomeres, which are actually the protective covers on each end of the chromosome. Shorter chromosomes are markers for accelerated aging. The longer the telomeres, the longer we will be on this earth. So we want to do everything that we possibly can to increase the telomeres on our chromosomes to keep them long. And meditation is one of the ways that we could do that. You don't need 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You could do 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever is going to be beneficial for your health. So that's meditation. Another thing that really helps with anti-aging is essential oils. And basically, we live in a nonstop go-getter world. We're always on the move, we're always doing. And what's happening is we are depleting our energy, and we are neglecting our source of power, which is ourselves. So support your daily and your weekly habits by indulging your senses and deepening your experience experiences. So moments of rejuvenation and relaxation multiply the effects when you add in some healing power of essential oil. So when you're meditating or taking an Epsom salt bath, you may want to diffuse some essential oils that add to the relaxation, add to the feelings. And with these essential oils, because they act as adaptogens, they support the breath of our systems, from mood to hormones, from our immune system all the way to our homeostasis, which is the natural flow and natural flow of our body process. So essential oils are wonderful. You can ingest them if you're buying them from a reputable company. Instead of using lemon in your water, you could use an essential oil, lemon essential oil, but you want to be sure that you're getting them from a reputable company. So I actually belong to an essential oil company that's called doTERRA, that you may have heard of. And you can, on my website, my doTERRA website, there's a lot of education of how you could use essential oils, and you could also purchase them right there. So if you want to jot down my website address, it's www.mydoterra, that's mydoterra.com/Susan Guzman, number one, all one word. And or you could email me at susan@susanlopresti.com, and we will talk further about it. Reiki. I am a Reiki practitioner, and Reiki is a Japanese form of alternative medicine called energy healing. And basically, we use universal life force energy that comes through us. Remember the energy that we all felt at the beginning of the class? Well, we all have that. So I use my palms to actually transfer healing energy to my client. And the beauty about Reiki is that you don't need to be with the healer in order to feel the effects of Reiki. I do virtual Reiki healing on people all over the country, and it works. So basically, energy can stagnate, like we talked about with the dry skin brushing. Energy can stagnate in the body, and that could manifest into from physical injury or possible emotional pain. You develop blockages in the body, and these blockages over time will cause illness or pain. And so with energy medicine, it aims to help the flow of energy and remove blocks in a very similar way as acupuncture or acupressure, except that we are actually not putting our hands on the client. We're just, transferring this energy to them. And I know it could sound very woo-woo, and maybe some people will not understand it, but what I will say is that it's been around for thousands of years. And it was first brought to the United States in 1922. And from 1922 through 1940, it really began to, come to the forefront. And so basically, some techniques are such as centering or clearing or beaming energy. I actually like to use crystals that correspond with the chakras, and I make sure that the chakras are open and moving, and it's just a wonderful healing modality, and my clients get great results. So like I said, I am a Reiki healer. I would be happy to do Reiki on anyone who is interested. If you email me at susan@susanlopresti.com, you can say that you were on this call today, and I will give you a discounted treatment. we're going to move right along and talk about hobbies, because they're also a great way to prevent aging. So anything that you do that connects you to your inner child, that will distress you from your daily activities, is classified as an anti-aging hobby. So dancing or gardening, anything that moves your body, maybe you like to color, anything that you do that you enjoy that will help you relax is wonderful. Or also to stimulate your mind. So reading or crossword puzzles or Sudoku or anything like that, also anti-aging. Love is so overlooked as an anti-aging modality. And first and foremost, we need to be loving ourselves. Self-love is all about acceptance. And here's the thing, we don't want to fit in. Okay, we don't want to be like everybody else. We want to stand out. We want to show our creativity. We want to show our uniqueness. We want to show who we truly are. So we need to love ourselves before we could actually love anybody else. And loving ourselves will equate to loving others and being close to others. And that helps to release a hormone called oxytocin, which is a natural stress reliever. It's also called the love hormone. Another thing that we want to look at are the toxins, and not the beauty products and the household cleaning products that we are using in our home every day. And because our skin is the largest organ, we recommend that this is the main focus for anti-aging. And because our skin is our largest organ, it also absorbs toxins in the air, smells, and if you're putting it on your skin and they're toxins, we're absorbing all of these irritants into our body. And now we have to detox them. And that puts a heavy load on our liver. So we want to eliminate using toxic chemicals, and we want to go to safe, natural, alternative products that work just as well. And I'm going to tell you that 21 years ago, I joined a wellness company that manufactures health and beauty aids, laundry products, household cleaning products, skincare products, cosmetics, vitamins, like all kinds of supplements. And they're wholesale. They are concentrated. So like on the cleaning products, you only need to use very little and add water, so they last forever. They're safe for the environment, and they're safe for you and me. And they work wonderfully. They work just as good as your Clorox and everything else. And they're safe for your family. They're safe for your animals. I mean, think about it. You're washing your floors with Clorox, and now your babies and your animals are laying all over those floors, crawling, running, whatever, picking up stuff off the floor. It's just not good. Think about your sheets. You sleep on your sheets for 8 hours a night. If you are using toxic laundry products, you are inhaling and bringing in these toxins into your skin for 8 hours a night. No wonder why you wake up with a headache in the morning. I know I used to. So if you're interested in finding out about the shopping club that I belong to, again, you can email me at susan@susanlopresti.com. The last thing I want to talk about is style, because I went to FIT, which is Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City, and I worked in the fashion industry for 14 years before I moved over to corporate. And what I can tell you about fashion is that when you look good, you feel good. And we always want to be looking good. I mean, just because we're getting older doesn't mean we need to look like grandma back in the day. I mean, the grandmas today are stylish and happening, and that's what we want. We want to be that vital, exciting grandma that our grandkids are going to be proud to say, this is my grandma, look at her. So anyway, So if styling is something for, that you're struggling with, that's something that I can help you with, that I include in my health coaching programs. And so basically, we don't want to dress like we're 25 because we're not any longer, but we do want to look stylish. We want to be wearing trendy outfits and stuff like that. And for people that struggle with that and it becomes a very stressful time, I can certainly help you with that. So let's recap real quickly. Aging is caused by the accumulation of free radicals, causing oxidation and the damaging effects of our body. Antioxidants defend against free radical damage. Antioxidants are powerful compounds that are found only in foods that contain vitamin E, beta carotene, and vitamin C. Flavonoids and polyphenols have powerful antioxidant properties that help prevent oxidative stress. Ginger tea, my favorite, is a potent anti-aging beverage used by many cultures around the world, as well as exercise, meditation, massage, hobbies, love, all powerful tools to remain healthy. I want to thank everyone. I know we went over the hour. I want to thank everyone for taking the time to join my class. Please reach out to me if you have any questions or follow up. And also, I wanted to let you know that I do have health coaching programs. I do individual health coaching, and then I do a more affordable group coaching program. Go to my website, www.susanlopresti.com. You can see the programs that I offer, and I would love to help you to achieve whatever goals you have in mind. Again, thank you so much for coming to my webinar. I totally appreciate it. You have a great day.